Now on Talking Solutions, want to welcome back Leslee Rogers with the Salvation Army. I know you moved out of town because we're Facebook friends.
We are, and we did.
And I understand why, but I'm very happy that you're back home.
I'll tell you, Terry, I not only feel like I've come back home, I feel like I've come back to myself. Your listeners don't know, but my husband worked for Salvation Army as well.
Pastor Ron.
Pastor Ronnie was the chaplain for homeless for almost 19 years. And his cancer that started at the middle of 14 took us back to Arizona to be near family. And he passed away. He died. I've learned to say he died.
It's tough, I know.
Well, the first year I couldn't do it, but now I can. He died in December of 15, and I spent 2 years trying to figure out, well, who am I now without him? And then the Lord blessed me with a phone call from the Salvation Army that said, why don't you come back and do your job? So I moved back.
Meant to be. Your angel, Ron, was helping things out.
I think Ronnie was kicking stuff around up there. I do. He and Jesus were busy. And I really feel whole and healthy and strong and ready to do what I do, which is share this amazing organization with our valley, with the world.
Well, you're back home.
I am.
Leslee Rogers with the Salvation Army. You always did beautiful work with them before. And you were telling me all the stuff you've got planned out. I know going into the holiday season, we got all kinds of fundraising plans coming up. But even now, you're not sitting still.
Well, it's summer and things are quiet, so I have to make them a little less so. That's my job. So one of the things we started that we picked up from several years ago was our Third Thursday events. I'll give a little shout out to Macaroni Grill up on Rainbow near Lake Mead in the northwest side of town. So third Thursday of every month from 4 in the evening until 9, people can either do takeout or dine in. They merely have to mention that we're here for the benefit of the Salvation Army, and we get 20% of sales.
I love that idea. Now I'm hungry.
Great?
Thank you very much.
Well, I'll see you there Thursday night.
Yum.
So that's one of the things we're doing. And then we have a fun sporting event coming up, the Aces. I personally am a fan of the WNBA.
They're coming on.
I love to watch those girls play ball. And I used to go watch the Mercury. And I was so excited when I moved back and saw that we were getting a team. Their last home game, which is August the 19th, it's a Sunday afternoon. Great time to go to a ball game inside at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at Mandalay Bay. Linked through our website is a way to buy tickets for that game, and it's their full range of tickets. So you can buy the cheap seats at the top, you can buy floor seats, you can buy whatever you decide you want to buy, and proportionately, a piece of those ticket sales will come back to the Salvation Army to support our work.
Yay, Salvation Army.
Yay, Salvation Army.
You know, I think a lot of people don't realize how many things the Salvation Army is involved with.
How much time do we have?
We'll take whatever time we need, and I love explaining it. You don't realize how important our Salvation Army locally is to helping people who are coming out of situations of human trafficking, addiction and recovery programs.
Absolutely.
Housing, food, all the needs for families.
Yes, families that are underemployed or unemployed have a place to go at our family services office. The food pantry, they can come once a month. Rental assistance, utilities assistance is a once a year opportunity for anyone. If they've been to another organization, unfortunately, they cannot get that with us. We have a system that's linked, so everybody knows what everyone's doing.
As it should be.
Exactly. So let's play fair, because everybody wants a little and we want to be sure everyone gets what they need when they need it. But the food pantry, once a month, they can come and get food assistance if they kind of run out of money before they run out of month and they need just a little bit to get by. And I love our food pantry because it is set up like a store. So they come in and instead of just getting handed a box or a bag of stuff that they may or may not eat, they may have food allergies in their house. They may have religious reasons why I can't eat this or I don't want that. And this way, they get to keep a little of that dignity. It's hard enough to go to a food pantry if you need the help, but let's at least allow these people to go and pick the food that they will use. I was in there the other day. We actually have some ground turkey, those 1 pound, we have those, and some other things. It's great. And then the shelves intermittently are stocked and then not so well stocked, but we work very closely with 3 Square when we have to buy commodities that we no longer have, or when it's a long time between big food drives. You know, we have the letter carriers food drive in May, which we're still living off of, which is wonderful. And then we will have the Boy Scouts in November. In fact, we just finished, I think in April, all the food that we got from the Boy Scouts in November. April or even early May, right before we had our letter carrier drives. So they do carry over and it does last, and those drives are really important. But we're about to reach out to the Clark County school system to all the schools in the Valley, grade schools, middle schools, high schools, and offer them the opportunity to do food drives for us. We've done this for years. Those little mailers will be going out because school starts so soon.
I know. It's like right on top of us.
Crazy.
I don't think people realize the kind of person that the Salvation Army is servicing. These are people in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
These are coworkers. There are so many people here in Southern Nevada who have a need. It's not what you're thinking. It's not someone who's just living on the corner.
Exactly. A lot of times, mom and dad are working minimum wage jobs. They lost their good jobs and they took what they could get. But again, we run out of money before we run out of month. And how do we feed the kids? Get them the supplies they need to go to school. And there's nothing worse than being the only child that shows up in a classroom without the backpack and all the supplies I need to start my school year.
If you work, even full-time, a minimum wage job in Southern Nevada, you don't make enough money to do affordable housing.
No.
These are ongoing issues, but we're getting close quickly to holiday fundraising, red kettles, bell ringers, and making donations and angel trees and all the stuff that we're all so familiar with at the holidays. These needs don't come just once a year.
No, we do this all year long. And we just mentioned family services and the things we do for those families. And we will address the fact that there are a lot of homeless on the street. We don't work with homeless teens, so we heartily support Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youth, one of our faves, and other organizations like that. Help of Southern Nevada also. But the homeless on the street, for some of them, it's a lifestyle choice. No way around it. For some of them, it's a mental illness issue. For some of them, it's addiction or addiction and mental health, and they're addicted because they're covering up whatever's going on in their heads. And we know that. But for some, it's circumstantial. And those are the ones looking to get back to what they fell out of because a job loss or an illness or other things got in the way of their life and sort of brought them to a screeching halt. On our homeless campus, which is on Owens, just west of Main Street, we offer what we call the continuum of care, not just a transaction with someone, but a transition for their lives. So they can come into our day shelter just to get out of the heat, have a cool bottle of water, watch some Netflix. We have laundry set up for them to utilize so they can clean their clothes. I mean, what gives someone a little dignity better than walking around in clean clothes instead of dirty, stinky, sweaty clothes? So we allow them to do their own laundry and just relax for a while, but they also can meet with a case manager. And if they're in a position to start rebuilding their lives, finding the tools that they need to maybe find a new career, get training, and get their lives back on track, that's what we're there to do. So we have a vocational training program with several different outlets: culinary, truck driving, security, air conditioning and heating. We can get them hooked up with an HVAC school.
Air conditioning?
Yes,
Okay.
huge in this valley. And in fact, one of the young men that went through that program several years ago is the main technician with the company that we utilize now for our HVAC stuff. So we get to see him all the time, which is fun. That's one piece of what we do there. And then once they go through the program, if they're not quite ready to be on their own, their income isn't substantial enough, we also have transitional housing apartments, like a junior 1-bedroom with a little sitting area and a table and chairs and a full kitchen.
Nice little safe space.
It is. And a bedroom and a full bath and good closet space. And they can live there for 30% of their net income plus $15 a month for utilities for up to a year. So they get grounded a little bit and they can still have case management. So they're just not thrown into the fray. Hopefully from that, they move on to their own place off campus. I love the fact that we do that. We also work heavily with homeless vets, and there are amazing organizations out here, U.S. Vets and
Veterans
Village and so many others. We have a program where the VA works with us, and we house, at this point, we have room for, I believe, 75 vets on the 3rd floor of one of our buildings. And then we are in the process of rehabbing an existing building that has been empty for a couple of years, and it will be additional space, 42 more beds. So we will have room for 117 homeless vets who will no longer be homeless on our campus. They get 3 meals a day. They get case management. They can get training if they need it. We make sure that they are getting all the benefits to which they're entitled. We have such a great relationship with the VA itself that we have VA paid case managers alongside our Salvation Army case managers right on property. So if there's a question or something specific that only the VA can take care of, they don't have to be trucked to the hospital or to some other VA location, they walk down the hall and can talk to the VA case manager that's right there in our office.
Leslee Rogers is with us from the Salvation Army, and I love it when different areas of need are covered.
Exactly.
Where someone can come in and say, things aren't right with me and I'm not sure exactly what I need, but I have a feeling you're going to be able to help me somehow.
And if we don't, in fact, have that particular program to meet that particular need, we know who does. Mm-hmm. And we're really good about picking up a phone and saying, okay, we have this person and they need what you're doing. The other thing we do, of course, is, as you mentioned earlier, our Adult Rehabilitation Center. And a lot of the people that come through that day resource center, that day shelter, that cooling station, whatever you want to call it, they need that kind of help. And that program for addictions with alcohol, drugs, illegal drugs, opioids, gambling, any of those addictions are addressed there. It is a 6 to 12 month live-in program, free to the beneficiary. Salvation Army thrift stores that are around town, everything that is donated to Salvation Army, by the way, I'll give a little plug, 1-800-SA-TRUCK. They will come and pick up your donations. They go to our warehouse. They're straightened out, sorted out, and then dispersed to the stores. When they're sold in those stores, that's what supports our adult rehabilitation centers. So those people do not have to pay a penny to get healthy and whole.
Just told the husband last weekend, I said, everything donated goes to the Salvation Army. I know there are other places that would be very happy to take your donations, but I know what this money is going to be targeted for. And so Salvation Army, 1-800-SA-TRUCK.
Yes.
We will put it, of course,
On the website.
on the Talking Solutions Facebook page. Yeah, along with links,
Yes.
the podcast. You guys are really busy.
We're kind of busy.
I like that. You got some things you need to accomplish.
We have a lot of things we need to accomplish. We are looking at what else can we do. But before you look at what else can you do, you have to be sure that what you're doing is being done the way it needs to be done. And is a complete program, start to finish, with the outcomes you're looking for. Because it's not going to get underwritten if we can't provide those outcomes and say that the money you've given leads to these kinds of successes. So we're just very blessed to do what we do.
Well, I know Mike and Carla with 96.3 KKLZ, they love getting involved with Salvation Army.
I love them too.
They did the whole water collection, Project H2O.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Last year when you weren't back yet, they also did Project PBJ, I think it was.
I love that because we always need peanut butter and jelly in that warehouse.
Well, they needed something that they could offer to people. They went down and served lunch at the main campus.
They did. They're supposed to come back and do that again.
And they will.
And
they
that
also
meal,
gave them PB&J sandwiches
to take with them.
Yes.
So when they leave, they have a snack for supper time if they don't want to go. That's the other thing. We do lunch 365 days a year at 35 West Owens in our lead dining hall. Catholic Charities does breakfast 365 days a year at, I believe, 9:30 or 10 in their lead dining hall. Thank you, Lead Foundation. And the Rescue Mission does dinner over on Bonanza every day at 5. So someone on the street literally can have 3 hot meals a day if they're willing to take. From Catholic Charities to us is up the hill. It's a block. From us to the Rescue Mission, down A Street, over Washington, and back around D Street. It's a little bit of a stroll, but it's not more than a quarter of a mile. So even in the heat, somebody can manage that. It's not too bad. They can go nice and slow.
It's worth it for a good meal.
If they want a good meal.
Well, you guys are involved in so many things. I just was so excited when you came back home to Las Vegas.
Thank you, dear.
And now that you're back with Salvation Army, I look forward to us having an ongoing dialogue, telling about all the stuff that's going on.
All the things we're doing. I do too, Terry. You are such a gift to this community and such a great friend to me. And I love that we were able to stay connected while I was away so that when I came home, it didn't feel strange or estranged or any of those strange words because I just felt like I was just coming back.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
We've got the third Thursday of every month at the Macaroni Grill up there at Lake Mead and Rainbow, right across from the Best of the West Center. It's right where you get on the 95.
Exactly.
And they will give 20% of your to-go or dine-in orders.
Exactly.
Don't have to have some kind of special coupon. Just mention we are here to benefit the Salvation Army. We'll have that on our Talking Solutions Facebook page. You have the final home game for the Las Vegas Aces coming up in August on a Sunday afternoon. All that information will also be on the site. And then when we get closer to the holidays,
we'll get busy.
Can't wait to be part of it. Leslee Rogers, you know we always ask with Talking Solutions, what can we do to help you?
We always need volunteers. That lunch we serve every day from 1:30 to 2:30, that gets served by volunteers. So if someone would like to come and bring their kids, even age, I would say 10 and up, they can do that. If they're 16 or older, they don't actually need an adult holding their hand there, but under 16, we prefer that mom, dad, older sis or uncle or auntie or guardian or somebody be there with them. So that's one thing that's just every single day. We also use volunteers at our food pantry 5 days a week from 7:30 in the morning till about 1 in the afternoon. That's 1581 North Main Street. The phone number to call and learn about that is 702-649-8240. If you'd like to volunteer, call our volunteer coordinator, Keisha. Her phone number is the same as my office, 702-870-4430. Volunteering for lots of different things, not just those two. We always need volunteers. We always need socks. We always need peanut butter and jelly, as we just mentioned, and other foodstuffs for the food pantry. Those can be dropped at 1581 North Main Street. They can also be dropped at my office, which is 2900 Palomino Lane, near Rancho and Charleston, if that's more convenient for someone. And again, just a quick reminder, we always need donations for those stores to support our rehab. So 1-800-SA-TRUCK if you need things picked up.
All of us can find something out of that list that we can participate in.
Absolutely.
Leslee Rogers from Salvation Army of Southern Nevada. So glad you're back home.
Thank you, Terry Springs. I'm so glad to be here with you.
We want to help every way we can with the Salvation Army, and we appreciate you coming to join us today on Talking Solutions.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.